Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2CTV. The rise of the far left across the Western world, especially in the United Kingdom, continues. The Metropolitan Police have made a number of arrests at this weekend's far left disruption and protests. And in this video, we're going to talk about what exactly happened this weekend. We have a number of videos to show you guys as evidence of the aggression we are getting from the far left. It's absolutely fascinating, ladies and gentlemen, what's been going on in our country, in the UK, but also we're seeing the same trend in Canada, in the US, and a number of other places. If you're watching this live, of course, as usual, we'll get your reaction. We're going to be talking about this one. It's going to be beautiful. He's wearing a keffiyeh around his neck because he's a supporter of the Palestinian cause, but he's also very much a very angry lefty in the UK who, if he actually goes to the Palestinian territory, he would not be treated well by Hamas or the Islamic Jihad. Okay, so big shout out, first things first, we're going to give to the people who actually were behind the counter-protest to the counter-protest. So yesterday we had at the rally, our rally, the Unite the Kingdom rally, which was called Far Right, even though we literally had the most diverse rally ever. We had people from different countries, ethnicities, all the colors, all the genders, all the age groups. Then they had a counter-protest by the left, Jeremy Corbyn, all the anti-Semites, far left, socialists, communists. Then we had a couple of people from a group from outside that decided to do a count, not necessarily outside, just basically patriots. We had people right-wing and left-wing, center-right, center-left, counter-protesting their counter-protest. Before we actually start doing that, as a thank you for all your support, obviously the channel is growing. Also yesterday you guys have been absolutely brilliant, all of you. We brought back our promo code, 50% discount. If you want to use our 50% discount, use the promo code RALLY50, go on 2ctvplus.tv to join 2ctv plus. If you pick the annual subscription, annual option, you will get 50% off if you use the promo code RALLY50. The link is in the description as well. Big shout out to Our Fight UK. Definitely follow them on X. It's at Our Fight UK. These guys, in case you're not familiar, one of them is obviously Nia Korbani, the Iranian refugee who's pro-British, and he's the one who's more patriotic about Britain than some of the so-called white English Brits who are left-wing, burying their heads in the sand. Alongside a number of others, our friends, they decided to go to the far left, hold these signs. I'm going to read it from the left. I am an Iranian refugee. I'm an enemy of Hamas, Hezbollah, and their supporters. Am I welcome? For the record, the whole point of these placards, these signs, is that the far left, they claim that they are in favor of all refugees and anybody who's oppressed and vulnerable, right? They say refugees are welcome here. They're the same people, same crowd who targeted me yesterday, a son of a refugee, calling me a national socialist. From Germany, apparently, because I'm very blonde and brunette, blonde and blue-eyed, obviously, as you can tell. I'm extremely Scandinavian. And then they told me that I should shoot myself like Adolf Hitler. That was lovely of them. But while they claim that they're pro-humanity and refugees and all that, if they don't agree with your political views, you don't count. That's why that sign says that. Am I actually welcome? I'm a refugee. Next one. I am a left-wing Brit. I stand against Islamism. I support Israel. Am I welcome? Gotta guess no, you're not welcome. Next one. I am a British South African Jew. I am against terrorism. I stand with Israel. Am I welcome? Definitely not. From their perspective. I am a British Indian. I stand for the UK law, which is Hamas and Hezbollah are terrorists. Am I welcome? Again, they're going to say no, ladies and gentlemen. So now we have the evidence. We're going to show you a couple of videos done by obviously Our Fight UK people who were there, including Niak and others. It gets a little bit weird because the far left are weird people. Let's go to the first clip.
You are racist. I'm a refugee. You're saying refugees.
You're a regular.
You're saying
You're a regular. I've seen you're on every demonstration doing this.
Doing what?
Every single one.
Doing what?
You are regular.
Doing what?
To cause trouble.
What I'm saying.
Get a reaction.
What I'm saying. What I'm saying. I'm a refugee. I'm an Iranian refugee. Am I
You're a
welcome here?
racist. You come here to cause trouble. This is going to get us anywhere. So your presence here is causing a problem. Come with us this way.
Let's go this way.
Refugees are not welcome here. You are all racist. You all are racist.
Sir,
You
sir,
are all
lower your voice.
racist.
Lower your
You
voice.
are all racist.
You're not helping.
You are all racist. You are all racist.
Keep coming.
You are all racist.
Keep coming.
You are all racist.
Keep coming.
You are all racist.
What do you mean?
You are all racist.
That's so silly. We're an anti-racist protest.
You are all racist.
Anti-racism
How are you,
protest.
baby?
Come on, let's go for her. Come on.
Anti-racism
Your friend's there.
We have every right to protest against racism. We are Iranian British people against
Can you
racism.
please keep walking? Keep walking.
Refugees are not welcome here. Refugees. Don't touch me. Okay.
Against racism. Why are we not allowed to be
Wait,
part
where
of
are you?
that?
I want to say something. Wait. Refugees on your control welcome here. Refugees are your control here. Refugees are under your control. Welcome here.
That was a key point. Niak said the refugees under your control are welcome here. And that's the whole point. Psychologically speaking, the Western leftist mentality is, because the whole point is they want control. And two ways they do that. In a relatively, over the last century, relatively stable, prosperous, democratic West. I know things are changing, but compared to Afghanistan, Taliban, and all that. So what they've decided to do over the last few decades, especially since the Second World War, was, well, we're going to have to take power. How do we do that? We can't do revolutionary movements anymore. So what we do is we create the concept, obviously, the oppressor sort of Olympics. And then we will go and embrace anybody that could be seen as vulnerable or oppressed. Could be anybody from the working classes, although they've given up on the working classes. Then they said, oh, okay, they're disabled. Let's go with the gay community. Okay, refugees, foreigners, anybody, right? And now, obviously, the Islamic side, they bring them here and say, okay, you're on our side. We will help you because we care about you. And then they're under the control. And that is how they take over. They want to take over. There are a number of issues with this. Obviously, Niak was shouting, you're all racist, to prove a point. And then they were saying, refugees are welcome here. Clearly, they're not. Because if they don't agree with you, if they don't want to be controlled by the left, they're not welcome there. We do have also the next clip as well. Let's watch this again from the same team. Lovely, right? As again, big shout out to our fights, as we said, follow them on X. Imagine if that incident, that guy who just took the placards or whatever, if that was done by somebody on the right. Oh, there will be Sky News helicopters, the Prime Minister will make a statement, the armed forces will get ready to take over central London, martial law and everything. The United Nations will release a statement that the far right are on the rise in the UK because somebody took someone's flag or sign. But when the left do it, when they attack you, yesterday obviously when they were trying to, well, one of them said I'm going to kill you and the other ones started chanting I should shoot myself like Adolf Hitler. I was quite tempted as a joke to respond saying we have no evidence that Adolf actually shot himself. He probably went to Argentina. That would have triggered them even more because they would say, oh my God, conspiracy theorists. Anything to tickle them. There is a problem here because what they do, and they have also almost semi-control over the police as a culture. Not necessarily every single police officer. The political establishment as a culture, the policing system as a culture. What they have is they hijack words like compassion, for example. You can only be left-wing and compassion. They also overuse words to bring you down. This is a very communist tendency that we've had for over a century. They will call you a thug or far right, right? But they also have these tactics. For example, they say, we attacked you, we got violent because your presence is offensive. You came here, by you coming here, you are stirring the pot. So you are causing trouble. Now, it's fascinating because we never had this in the Western world, in the free society, because morally and legally, both of them, you should be able, and you can, well, until recently, to go to a protest or any group of people, as long as you don't incite violence or cause violence, you could say whatever, right? You could express your opinion, free country, technically, until recently. You can be there. So yesterday, what I did was I went there to report. And I simply was filming. I said, I'm going to, actually, now that we're in the crowd with the left, I'm not going to antagonize. I'm not even going to talk to them. I'm just going to film. They came to me. They said, you being here, you're stirring the pot. You're causing trouble. So that's justification for us to get violent. That's not how morally it works or legally. But there are people who say, you be going there, you're asking for trouble. So it's like saying the Israeli Jews living by the border next to Gaza, they were asking for trouble, so Hamas had every right to cross the border and kidnap them. No. If I were, or Niak, or the others, were to go there and incite violence or attack them, oh, they have every right to do self-defense or call the police or sue them. But if you go there to provoke, or even your presence provokes, that is not morally wrong, and that should not also be illegal. That's the whole point. Because offense is not given, it's taken, it's subjective. Just because you see my face as a far left person, you will get triggered. But if someone else sees my face, a normal human, they will like it because I'm beautiful. So it's your problem, not my problem. Me being there to film is your problem. Also, the whole point, and I did tell them before they started chasing me with the smell of BO and everything else, I said, the whole point of a public protest since the beginning of time is that you do it to gain acknowledgement. You want to be noticed. You want publicity so people know about your cause. That's why you're on the street as a group. You want journalists to film it. You want everybody to see what you're doing. That's why you're there. And I'm here to report it. I'm not even going to talk to you. That's usually what I don't do, apart from last weekend. I decided to actually have a debate and clash with them. Usually, as you guys have seen, all the live streams are already on this channel, especially the pro-Palestinian marches. I just go and film, you know. I make my own jokey comments to you guys on the side, but I don't really go and make them angry because what's the point? Even though it's funny, it's not my style. But they say, they said yesterday that, we now have a justification because now that you come here, basically, you are staring. But they were the ones having a meltdown. Not my fault. All right, let's see what you guys actually think about all this mess. Oh, hello. We got some breaking news from the Israel-Iran conflict as well. We're gonna do a massive update later tonight about Israel versus Iran as well. If you want to get more updates on that, so we're gonna also talk about a Labour MP who's a little bit of violence person. We're going to talk about that as well, and we'll finally have time to talk about what happened in the Republic of Ireland earlier this week. Let's get to some super chats first, and I'm going to get some non-super chats as well. Hamsley, thank you very much, saying any updates on the wasteman who said keys to you, mate, have any arrests been made? So I have asked obviously the Metropolitan Police to do some sort of investigation into the people who are targeting me. And there have already been a couple of arrests made, but not connected to what I went through. And they were for violence. It was interesting because a couple of people were arrested from the other side, the rally side, but that was just public disorder, something like that. But the far left side, it was for violence. Desmond 1818 says, I was proud of you. Proud of you. I love how I'm making it about myself. It's so egotistical. I was proud to be there yesterday on my first march and so pleased to shake your hand. Keep up the good work. At least it was slightly about me. Yes, I'm glad you were there. I hope you enjoyed the day. And we proved the point again. Third rally we've done. No violence. No chaos. No disruptions. family friendly. We had whites, blacks, purples, oranges, all the different colors, all the different ages, all the different nationalities. We had the French, we had the Canadians, we had the Iranians, we had Israelites, all of them getting together. But apparently, according to Reform UK and the Conservative Party, we're all far-right thugs. That's lovely. We are going to talk about Richard Tice. We're going to talk about Reform UK and their reaction to this weekend's rally. We're going to talk about all that later tonight and tomorrow. Keith says, can you explain the change a protest can bring to policy? And do you think it will help? No, not necessarily. A protest on its own as a concept in the West doesn't do much. Whether you're doing a right-wing thing or left-wing thing. So unless a protest or series of protests are part of a bigger package, a political movement, combined with campaigning, and also depends what your cause is. So some causes will be more justified to win. Whether they are right or wrong, that's different, by the way. So for example, when the climate change activists started protesting first, decades ago, and then obviously they got their big money behind them, and then obviously the more pro-net zero companies realized, oh, they can make money out of it. Then it became a more mainstream thing. Women's rights to vote, for example, that was a just cause. It was a combination of many things. People think it was just because of street protests and riots by middle-class women that got the vote. No, it was a combination of many things, including lobbying, including doing an old-school version of petitions, basically knocking on the door of your local MPs. Back then, it was a combination of everything that worked. You also need to get your own type of representatives being elected. It's tough under this system, but you have to have a combination of things. Protesting for the sake of protesting wouldn't get anywhere, even if you get 2 million people out. We've already had that. About 25 years ago, we had the march to stop the Iraq war. That didn't go well. We had the farmers protest. What was it? 1 million, 2 million people, farmers came out against the fox hunting legislation and ban by Blair. Didn't get anywhere. Even if you get 2-3 million, even if you get 2 million to sign a petition, doesn't get anywhere. You need a combination of everything. You need to win convince essentially the political movement. So in this case, for example, if you're right wing, you need somehow Reform UK and the Tories to get behind you. Otherwise, there's no point. Or create your own party or back a new party. If you're left wing, there's no need for you to protest in the United Kingdom because the left is already in the establishment. And by establishment, we mean the establishment. Everything from academia, the entertainment industry, the cultural institutions, obviously now, even the political establishment, which includes civil service, quangos, bureaucrats. There's no need to protest if you're left-wing because your policies are already in place. Your people are already in power. All you have to do is just do basic lobbying and you will get what you want. So the left are no longer the left because the whole point of the left was to be anti-establishment. Ivan says, off topic, but do we know the numbers of us who were there yesterday? Not officially yet, although there was some stuff coming out from the BBC and the police. I'll double check because, again, it's quite difficult. Some people from outside were saying 200,000, 250. That's not correct. It was in tens of thousands. And because some people want to exaggerate, thinking it's a win. Why? Why do you want that win? Even if, for example, we did have, 300,000 people. And you say, yeah, we had on 300,000. What's that going to achieve? In fact, you kind of want to underplay it. You want to kind of say, no, it was only 10,000. So you could urge people next time more to come. But no, we don't know because I also don't trust the numbers coming from the BBC. So it was definitely bigger than the first two. Definitely bigger. It says I would wear a mask if I had my own head up. Yeah, that refers to all the leftists. Smelly leftists who wear face masks. You do know why they wear it because they all smell standing next to each other. They need to protect it. Maya, you can buy Niak some bananas or some coffee from me. Yeah, Niak as the pro-UK Iranian refugee is now known as Mr. Banana Man because he's got this thing where he goes to the pro-Palestinian protests and the leftists eat bananas in front of them and shakes the banana. It's a little bit controversial, but I love it. He can't get cancelled because he's already been cancelled by Iran. It's like me. I'm uncancelable. I say that now. I watched it all yesterday and I'm jealous I didn't go. It would have been a good day out in London. It was actually very good. Also, the weather was good, even though a little bit rainy-ish. Paddy UK says, I see your thumbnail has that guy, or call him the Watcher. He was there when you were at the left-wing protest looking over your shoulder. Yeah, that's the guy, where is it? I could actually find him again. So this is the guy who last weekend, he was staring at Niak for like 10 minutes. This guy. Remember him? He was just staring at him. And the police were like, would you like to move? It was like, his tactic to counter protest is niche, but is becoming quite famous. So is like a rubbish avenger, let's just say. Right. Next super chat. I am so sorry that you left the EU. Well, I'm not. And your illegal immigrant situation became just worse. That wasn't because of that, by the way. I'll explain. Well, wasn't it the main reason for Brexit from Germany? No, so this is the propaganda. The whole, the reason Brexit Britain, so there's Brexit and there's Brexit Britain, and I explained the difference. Brexit, as a word, as a concept, is simply the process to leave the European Union. What you have now, the left calls it, this is Brexit. No. The Brexit was the process. This is Brexit Britain, you can call it, or independent Britain. And we're not even fully independent because we're still tied to EU. Northern Ireland fully, and we still have thousands of EU laws that we're still tied to. But let's just hypothetically say we've officially left, and this is called Brexit Britain. The whole point of Brexit it wasn't to make things better or worse. It was to say, after you leave the EU, it's now up to your country, the UK, and your politicians to decide if they want to have a better country or a worse country. And you can't blame it on anybody else anymore. If you're in the EU forces policies on you undemocratically, like what's happening in Poland and Hungary. So people in Poland can't fully blame their parties in power, not fully, because things are being imposed onto them by the EU undemocratically. In the UK, since we've left the EU officially, things have been getting, certain things have been getting worse. Nothing to do with being in or out of the EU in that sense, because it's our fault, as in the country, the political establishment. Our governments, our politicians are terrible. So that's actually the result of leaving the EU. And it's a good thing, because now we can take some accountability and responsibility. The problem is that the politicians are continuing to do the same terrible, terrible policies. Now, when it comes to immigration, getting worse. At this point, even if you had stayed in the European Union, this small boats problem would have still continued anyway. And France would have still refused to take them back. Someone in the live chat has just said, why are you not talking about ties? Because you joined the live stream late, I'm guessing. If you would start from the beginning, we've already explained that, and we will be diving into it properly. The fact that Reform UK and the Tories, and in this case, earlier today, Richard Tice attacked our rally that we had yesterday, saying they're not one of us. We're going to talk about that properly again later tonight or tomorrow. Super chat again. Please, can you hire your sexy Viking security full time and just have him join you on the live streams? Do you just fancy him? I'm pretty sure he has a wife. I'll ask him. Patsy says, we are now classed as that lot. Yeah, by Richard Tice. As well as far-right thugs. Disgusting, from two penny snobs. It's fun though, isn't it? Sandra says, well done with the placards. Oh yes, the I'll fight people. And Billy says, brown refugee man from Iran? Yeah, far right. That's basically the summary of the whole live stream. That's basically what the left sees Niak Orban as. So it will be interesting to see. As I said, we're going to talk about Reform UK properly in a different live stream, and Richard Tice's comments, Nigel Farage's comments. It will be interesting to see over the next few months how much it will affect their support, because a huge chunk of the people who were there yesterday voted Reform UK in the recent election that we just had. And Reform UK is still a small party, and if they can't risk losing more votes. I know their strategy is to become more mainstream and try to aim to get the Tory vote. But if you just aim to get the Tory vote, you will end up just splitting the centre-right vote. You do need to get the other chunks. That includes the UKIP type people and people who went to the rally yesterday and many others as well, people don't realize, even Tim Montgomery, who is a wet Tory, who obviously also started a Conservative Home website, he's a liberal Tory, even he admitted, he said that the political establishment don't realize that the centre is gone. The centrist mentality, what David Cameron was doing, what Tony Blair was doing, saying we're just going to aim to get the middle class liberal centrist votes, because that's kind of safer. We are more, everything's more volatile and more radical, left and right. So people are becoming more tribalist based on issues as well. So you don't really have many people, unlike before, kind of in the middle saying, yeah, I understand that side. I also understand that side. No, people are like either this or that. So aim to get your base. That's what Trump is doing. Trump is not going for some sort of, his tactic is fascinating. He's saying, this is my base. This is my policies. Sort of like Thatcher, like it's up to you. This is my conviction. Vote for me or not. So he's got the right, but he's actually bringing some people technically from the center or the old Democrats, the good, conservative leaning Democrats. He's bringing them not by sacrificing his own policies. He's just convincing them, saying, do you want the nutters or do you want this? Listen to my policies. Do you like it? Okay, vote for me. The black community, the Islamic community in Michigan, everyone's now endorsing Trump. They never endorse any Republican candidate, any other Republican candidate over the last few decades. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with more updates for you guys. As I said, we're going to talk about Israel and Iran. We're going to talk about the Labour MP who got a little bit violent. We're going to talk about the Republic of Ireland, what they've done with free speech. We're going to talk about Richard Tice and Reform UK as well. There's going to be a lot. So some of it will be tonight, some of them will be in the morning. Subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, as I said, we now have the 50% discount if you want to join 2CTV Plus, our independent platform, to get access to more content, premium content, documentaries and exclusive shows. Use the promo code RALLY50 to get 50% off our annual memberships by going on 2ctvplus.tv or find the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maya Tusi and we are the media.